Not every watch tells the same story on your wrist. This is where microbrand watches step in with serious character, offering fresh design ideas and standout quality without following the usual crowd. You will find pieces that feel personal, built with passion and real attention to detail instead of mass production shortcuts. This lineup brings together underrated names in the world of microbrand watches that quietly push boundaries and deliver way more value than expected. Get ready to uncover some real hidden gems that could easily become the most interesting pieces in your collection. Fresh energy and independent watchmaking shows up strongly with Lima Watch, a design-focused studio that leans into bold shapes and clean functionality instead of following predictable trends. The GMT Transit collection marks their first step into dual time tracking, and it does it with real personality, especially with that 37.5mm 316L stainless steel case, where the fixed bezel flows smoothly into a curved mid-case for a seamless look. Colors like teal give the dial a lively punch while staying easy to read, and practical touches like a date window and a sharp, contrasting GMT hand keep things useful on the wrist. Inside, the Seiko NH34 GMT automatic movement keeps everything reliable and ready for travel. Lima Watch ends up feeling like a smart, expressive option for anyone wanting a functional timepiece with character without going mainstream. Built for rough terrain without losing refined edge, Earthen Co creates watches inspired by nature and exploration, mixing toughness with clean style. Summit Overcast Mark II shows this balance with a stealthy 38mm matte black ceramic case that stays light on the wrist and highly scratch-resistant. A matte black dial reduces glare, while vintage-style lume improves low-light visibility, keeping the focus on clarity. Practical touches like a screw-down crown engraved with mountain peaks and 100 meters of water resistance add serious durability. Inside, a reliable automatic Miyota 9039 movement keeps time steady. Earthen Co delivers a minimal yet rugged feel, and the Summit Overcast Mark II fits right in for everyday adventure. Few watchmakers operate at this level of craftsmanship, and Grönefeld sits right at the top with a focus on rare, handcrafted pieces that feel more like mechanical art than accessories. The 1941 Decennium Tourbillon shows that approach with only 10 pieces made, each built in platinum for a refined and understated presence. Grönefeld leans heavily into detail, from dials crafted in 925 sterling silver with sharp finishing to flame-blued hands that catch light in a striking way. Inside, the in-house caliber G07 drives a 1-minute flying tourbillon, adding serious mechanical depth without losing elegance. Every surface gets obsessive attention, including a 22-karat solid gold oscillating weight and hand-polished stainless steel bridges. The result feels like a high-level expression of horology that balances tradition, precision, and pure visual impact in one incredible package. Design rules get completely rewritten here with Toledano Chan, a microbrand that leans into bold architectural shapes instead of safe traditional styling. The B/1.3R stands out immediately with an asymmetrical case and integrated bracelet made from grade 5 titanium, giving it a raw, industrial feel that still sits comfortably on the wrist. A strong sense of contrast shows up in details like the solid 18-karat gold ripple dial, which becomes the visual centerpiece without feeling overdone. Swiss-made movements inside mark a clear step up in refinement and overall finishing, adding serious credibility to the build. Toledano Chan keeps the wearability in check even with such a sculptural design, making the B/1.3R feel like a statement piece that still works in daily rotation. Storytelling takes center stage with Mezei Watches, a brand that turns every timepiece into something far more expressive than just a daily accessory. A balanced design language runs through their work, usually landing around 40mm cases that sit comfortably and feel naturally proportioned on most wrists. Strong visual character comes through on the dial with finely textured radiating patterns that shift with light and add real depth without hurting legibility. The real surprise waits on the caseback, where each model features deeply engraved artwork from city skylines to maritime scenes, giving every piece its own narrative twist. That blend of elegance and personality keeps Mezei Watches feeling personal and engaging, especially in models that pair classic styling with those detailed artistic touches that reward a closer look. Strong build quality and character-driven design define Wise Watches, a brand that puts real effort into how a watch feels on the wrist as much as how it looks. Each piece is often hand-assembled, giving it a more personal and carefully finished touch that stands out right away. Materials play a big role too, with 904L stainless steel used in models like the Mahanakorn MH110, bringing a solid, premium feel along with excellent resistance to wear. Dial design stays focused on clarity, but still adds personality through sharp detailing and a mix of brushed and polished surfaces that catch light in different ways. Reliable automatic movements keep everything running smoothly without fuss, making these watches easy to live with day to day. Wise Watches manages to deliver a premium experience that feels far above its price range, while keeping a distinct, confident identity. Rugged performance meets clean design focus with Canopy Watch Company, a brand that leans heavily into durable tool watch styling while still keeping things refined on the wrist. The Wake 1 shows that balance clearly, mixing pilot watch cues with dive watch toughness in a bold, functional layout. Strong materials like 316L stainless steel for the case and forged carbon fiber on the bezel give it a solid, premium feel built for real use. Practical features stay front and center with 200 meters of water resistance and a crisp 120-click unidirectional bezel that feels precise during operation. Swiss automatic movements inside keep timekeeping reliable, while thoughtful touches like an on-the-fly micro-adjust clasp make daily wear more comfortable. Each piece is individually serialized and designed in the United States, giving Canopy watches a distinct collector-focused identity with real presence. Heritage runs deep with Vulcain, a brand best known for its legendary cricket alarm movement and its long history in proper tool watch design. That legacy continues today through modern reissues that stay true to the original spirit while upgrading reliability for everyday wear. The Skin Diver Nautique collection pulls straight from 1960s diving culture, bringing vintage underwater exploration vibes back with a clean, functional twist. Proportions stay classic and wearable, giving it that authentic, old-school wrist feel without sacrificing comfort. Strong legibility takes priority, backed by bold, luminous markers and a clear dial layout that stays readable in low light. A unidirectional bezel adds practical dive timing control, while dependable automatic movements keep everything running smoothly over time. Vulcain manages to blend historical charm with modern performance in a way that feels grounded, making each watch a direct link between past innovation and present-day usability. Classic watch ideas get a fresh twist with Heron Watches, a brand that takes familiar complications and reshapes them into something more refined and expressive. The Mirabel GMT is a perfect example, turning a travel-focused function into a clean dress watch with real elegance on the wrist. A compact 37.5mm C-shaped case in 316L stainless steel keeps things vintage-inspired while still feeling modern and comfortable. Dial work is where things really stand out, especially with glossy enamel sector layouts, applied numerals, and heat-blued alpha hands that add a sharp, premium finish. Inside, the Miyota 9075 True GMT movement brings solid reliability for tracking multiple time zones. Extra character comes through on details like the world timer caseback with hand-painted enamel, while boxed sapphire crystal and French baronil leather straps round out a very thoughtful, well-executed package. Vintage Energy gets a modern refresh with Nivada Grenchen, a brand that thrives on bringing back iconic designs with updated precision and everyday reliability. The Antarctic Spider is a great example, reviving a quirky classic with a look that feels straight out of horology history but still fully wearable today. Case options around 35mm or 38mm in stainless steel keep things versatile, whether someone prefers a tighter vintage fit or a slightly bolder presence. The dial is where the personality really hits, especially with that spider layout featuring intersecting sector lines that create a web-like visual effect. Double-domed sapphire crystal adds durability while keeping that old-school charm intact. Reliable automatic or manual wind movements power each piece, keeping performance consistent without overcomplicating things. Nivada Grenchen manages to balance heritage and practicality in a way that makes each watch feel like a direct link to a different era. Japanese microbrands rarely punch this far above their price range, and Karl-Leimon stands out by delivering that luxury sports watch look without the usual barrier to entry. The Majesty Automatic Collection nails the integrated bracelet style with a clean 40mm stainless steel case that stays impressively slim at just 9.8mm, giving it a sharp and elegant wrist presence. Strong finishing work defines the design, with brushed and polished surfaces layered together to catch light in a way that feels far more expensive than expected. Sun-ray dials add extra depth, paired with diamond-cut applied indices that bring a subtle flash of refinement. Inside, the Miyota 9015 automatic movement keeps things reliable with a solid 42-hour power reserve. Anti-reflective sapphire crystal and a well-balanced weight complete the experience, making Karl-Leimon a strong choice for anyone chasing that high-end integrated sports watch feel on a budget. Retro Future design gets a sharp, modern edge with Direnzo watches, a microbrand known for blending clean, futuristic styling with serious everyday practicality. The DRZ04R Mondial shows that approach perfectly, pairing a compact 38mm 316L stainless steel case and matching bracelet with a scratch-resistant coating that boosts durability without changing the sleek look. Bright, highly readable dials keep things modern and functional, often paired with a simple date display that adds daily usefulness without clutter. Inside, Swiss engineering takes over with the Sellita SW201 Elaboré grade automatic movement, complete with Inca block shock protection for added reliability. A screw-down sapphire crystal caseback gives a clear view of the movement, adding a nice mechanical touch for enthusiasts. Direnzo watches focuses heavily on comfort and versatility, creating sports watches that feel refined, durable, and distinct enough to stand out in a crowded field. Dennison brings classic watchmaking back with a twist that feels both familiar and refreshingly different from the usual vintage-inspired designs. The ALD Dual Time Collection revives the signature cushion case, giving it soft curves and a balanced wrist presence that feels comfortable from the first wear. Natural stone dials instantly change the mood of each piece, with tiger eye, lapis lazuli, malachite, and aventurine creating deep organic patterns that make every watch feel one of a kind. These dial choices sit inside either gold tone or steel finished cases, adding a clean contrast between raw natural texture and refined metalwork. Dual time functionality is integrated in a way that stays readable without crowding the layout, keeping the design focused and elegant. Dennison manages to turn heritage-inspired styling into something more expressive, where natural materials become the main character instead of just decoration. True North collections lean straight into vintage watch nostalgia, bringing back that mid-century feel with a modern build that actually holds up in daily use. Based in Los Angeles, the brand focuses on recreating classic horology details like traditional case shapes and softly aged faux patina lume that gives each piece an authentic retro mood without the drawbacks of real vintage wear. Strong storytelling shows up in collaborations like the Pan Am XTNC, which ties the design to aviation history in a way that feels intentional and engaging rather than forced. Across dive-inspired and field-style models, the look stays consistent with clean, vintage proportions and easy wrist presence. Reliable automatic movements keep timekeeping solid, while durable materials make sure everything feels ready for everyday wear. True North Collections ends up delivering that old-school charm in a way that still feels practical and wearable today. That is a wrap on these micro-brand watches, and each one proves you can get serious design and quality without going mainstream. Which one stood out to you the most? Drop it in the comments, and do not forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more. Thanks for watching. See you next time.